All right, we're back. So how long is the rocket more than 12 meters high? Well, what we do for that question is we find a place that's 12 meters high, and we determine when the rocket is going to first go above 12 meters, and then we find out when it's going to fall below 12 meters. And the difference between those two will be how long it's 12 meters high. So the difference in this question is that h of t is not 0. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for h of t when it equals 12. So we want negative 4.9 t squared plus 16t plus 1.25 equals 12. Now, we have no business working on this unless it's equal 0. It has to equal 0 to use the quadratic formula. So it's negative 4.9 t squared plus 16t, bring the 12 over, and it's negative. So plus 1.25, and it's going to be negative 10.75. Now we use the quadratic formula. So t is going to equal negative b plus or minus b squared. So it's negative 4 times 4.9 negative times another negative 10.75, which is going to change it to negative 210.7, all over top of 2 times a, which is negative 9.8. Now this is 210. So 210.7. So 210.7 plus 256 is going to change that to 45.3. So it's going to be negative 16 plus or minus square root 45 plus 3 over top of negative 9.8. That's going to give us two answers. One of them is going to be negative 16 plus 45.3 over negative 9.8. The other answer is going to be negative 16 minus root 45.3 over negative 9.8. So let's do those. 16 negative plus 45.3 square rooted equals, divided by 9.8 negative, equals 0.95 rounding. And the next one is going to be negative 16. Take away 45.3 square rooted equals, divided by 9.8 negative, equals 2.32. So that means that this answer up here, this t value is 0.95. This one here is 2.32. So the rocket is above 12 meters between 0.95 seconds and 2.32 seconds. So if we subtract those, we're going to get, it's above that for a total of 1.37 seconds total. Sorry about that. So I took the 2.32 and I subtracted the 0.95 and I got 1.37 total. All right, the last part. How long is it above 4 seconds? This is kind of a tricky question. There's a quick way to do this question. If you remembered what we did up above, you'll notice that it hits the ground after 3.34 seconds. So if I'm asking you where it's going to be after 4 seconds, the answer is lying on the ground, obviously. It hit the ground at 3.34 seconds. It must be still on the ground at 4 seconds. So you could tell me that. You could say the height is equals 0, since it hit the ground at t equals 3.34 seconds. And I will give you full marks for that. However, the more official way of going through it is to say you're looking for the value when t equals 4. So you're going to put 4 in for t. everywhere that there's a t in the equation, which is negative 4.9 t squared plus 16t plus 1.25, which is negative 4.9 4 squared plus 16 times 4 plus 1.25, which, once you use your calculator and you go through the whole thing, you come up with an answer of negative 13.15. Now, if you tell me that the height of the rocket is negative 13.15, I'm going to have a problem with you. Because what you're telling me is the rocket hit the ground and kept going through the ground. Well, it didn't. The negative should be an indication, so at this point you would say, oops, silly us. The rocket hit the ground before 4 seconds, and so its height is 0. There you go. We'll stop there, and we'll be back with the next stuff.